Hello everyone, welcome to Geology Concepts. I am Ajit Kumar Singh and you are watching our weekly current affairs series where we bring you the current affairs of the last 1 week. This video covers current affairs from the science portion, the science topic, and the topics I have covered are 5G, Darwin's arch, mist, Gaia Hypothesis and monkeypox. Obviously monkeypox is making the news and that's why I have covered this here, and few other topics are also here. So the first is going to be 5G. 5G is supposed to be rolled out by the end of this year, and it's being anticipated that India, in the metro cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, etc., will have the 5G facilities by the end of this year. So what is 5G? It is the fifth generation telecom revolution which delivers up to maximum of 20 GB per second peak data rates and 100 megabytes 100 mbps at the average, which is a average rate of this 5G speed, and 5G has more capacity than 4G, which is quite obvious. So the maximum speed of this data is 5G is 20 Gbps, which is huge. 20 Gbps is really, but this much 20 Gbps data speed is not, is not used for, there's no use for common people of this much speed, because what we do is normal surfing, searching, video watching and stuff like that. But this 5G will immensely help the economic activities, because machine to machine learning requires a lot of bandwidth and faster data rate transmission. That's why this 5G will be more helpful for the business than for the people. But anyway, that business will eventually help the people of this country also. So let's see what is 5G. The first thing is 5G will be transmitted, the data will be transmitted through optical fibers. So what are optical fibers? Optical fibers look like this. If you go in if you see outside, from outside it looks like this, and the color of every optical fiber is of orange color. You must have seen this. But inside there is optical fiber. Optical fiber means there is a vacuum place which has glass structure like this, reflective structure in fact, and this actually reflects the light ray, and this reflection is very specific because it is called total internal reflection, right? And total internal reflection. And only thing about this topic important is that this total internal reflection must be clear to you once as you go through this topic. So let me explain this little bit. As you know that light moves from one medium to a different medium, like suppose this is medium 1 and this is medium 2, and density of this medium is d1 and density of this medium is d2, and suppose d1 is more than d2. So this medium is denser than this medium. So what happens is that if suppose this is this is a line and this is a parallel to it, and suppose sending a light ray at this angle which is theta, and this is normal, this line is normal. So what happens is, if there has been the same medium both the sides of this line, light would have passed ideally like this on the same line, no diversion at all, as the medium does not change. But as the medium changes, the density of the medium decreases, light moves away from the normal. So what will do this light ray do? This will move like this. So this light ray, the theta 1, and here it is, suppose this whole angle is theta 2. So here theta 2 will be more than theta 1, right? So this is how it is. But there is one more situation in which I'm again taking this example, and suppose if we keep on increasing this line, if we send light from this angle, light will go like this, and there is one angle which is called critical angle. Suppose at this angle, if we send this light, suppose that critical angle is this, theta critical. So this will not go into this medium, it will travel on this line. on this line, right? It will neither enter this medium nor enter this medium. So this angle is called critical angle, and if we increase angle any more, even a slight of increment will cause this light to get reflected into the previous medium, which means from the medium which it was coming from. So if this is the new ray, it will go like this. So this is what total internal reflection means. This line is not at all reflective. It is very much transparent, but because of this change in density, because here it is d1 and here it is d2, and d1 is more than d2, right? So what happens is that any more than the critical angle, if you make the light move on that line, the light will get reflected into the previous medium. Means any line you take like this, it will get reflected like this. So this is the quality of light is being used in this 5G transmission, like optical fiber. Here it uses total internal reflection, which is called TIR, total internal reflection, right? So this is what is the mechanism of the optical fiber, and this is how light travels in an optical fiber, right? So next thing is fiberization, which means what is the fiberization status of in India, which means India will need 16 times more fiber, obviously, because of the 5G. Lot of demand for the high speed data will increase. The demand of high speed data will increase, and that's why the telecom companies will need to connect their towers with 5G. The optical fibers, and optical fibers are obviously demand investment, because they are not like copper wires. They need a lot of investment. So 16 times more optical fiber will be required. At present, India has only 13% of its telecom towers are connected with optical fibers, and that's why India will need lot of optical fibers. Then ideally a country needs 1.3 kilometer of fiber per capita to ensure good fiberization. Per capita 1.3 kilometer. So if you take into consideration the population of India, which is 1.4 billion, a lot of fiber will be required. So India's fiber kilometer is just 0.09, and in Japan, which is 1.35, in USA, which is 1.34, and in China 1.3. So obviously here Japan has the maximum fiberization, but India, it has only 0.09, which is quite low. But obviously in the coming years India will definitely catch up. So okay, so next is Darwin's Arch. So this is important. This is the place. It is in the Galapagos Island. This island you see is the Galapagos Island, and this arch is called Darwin's Arch, because Darwin used to sit here and do his research and his thinking, brainstorming. So that's why it is important. Now this arch has fallen down, and it has the current status of this arch, and that's why it has made news. So Darwin's Arch is in Galapagos Island, which is in the Pacific Ocean, in fact, collapsed in the ocean. Once the part of Darwin's Island, the arch is famed for the variety of underwater life teeming nearby. Okay, this is not important. Galapagos Island is the Pacific Ocean. So this much is important, that Darwin's Arch has fallen, and it is in the Pacific Ocean, and it is on the Galapagos Island. So the next topic is MIST, which means Myanmar, Malaysia, India, Singapore transit. It is actually data transfer system mechanism, which will have a network of, actually it is submarine cable communication network that will traverse undersea to connect India with Myanmar, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore. This is how it looks like. Mumbai and two places of India like Mumbai and Chennai will connect Myanmar, Thailand, Malaysia and Singapore. We have in the previous video, I have just mentioned that how Singapore is important for India, because Singapore is also being connected to Gift City, and which is in Gandhi Nagar in Gujarat. And Singapore is also important because Singapore has the highest FDI investment in India, and this is, if we interconnect Singapore with us, it will be very beneficial for India's economic growth, and that's why it is very important for us to cover in the current affairs section. So this is how this mist is. Actually in the Singapore, the place is Tuas in Singapore, and it will connect Mumbai in India. So this is how it is. The total length of this cable system is 8,100 kilometers, and it is like this. So this is about mist. The next topic is Gaia hypothesis. Sometimes questions are asked on the some important or some famous hypothesis. That's why I have covered this. The proponent of this hypothesis is James Lovelock, environmental scientist, who created this Gaia ecology theory. Gaia means actually earth. It means earth. I think it is a Latin term which means earth, right? So recently he passed away, and that's why this has become little important. So I have covered it, which means it proposes that all organism and their inorganic surroundings, organisms means the living organisms, and surrounding, inorganic surrounding means the non-living things, so they on earth are closely integrated to form a single and self-regulating complex system. This actually means that we are dependent on non-living things, and those non-living things are also dependent and being regulated by us, because we consume them, and we finally, when we die, we turn into one of them, because as we die, we all know we go either we are being cremated, means we are burned, or we are even either, or we are either cremated, or we are like mitti mein daba dete hain, which is called I do not get, I'm just, that particular word is not coming to me my mind. So this is how the idea is, that everything is turned into, everything turns into that the panch tattva, the panch tattva, that is, we have the philosophy in Hindu philosophy that whatever we are, we will turn finally into the panch tattva. So this Gaia hypothesis proposes that all organisms and their inorganic surroundings on earth are closely integrated to form a single and self-regulating complex system. So this has a very profound meaning, and that's why I would like to little emphasize this thing, is that everything which is living and every non-living thing are interconnected. That means if we use them, the non-living things, and non-living things use us, like, or being regulated by us. They not actually use us, they are being regulated by us. So that's why we are integrated. If we we as a single unit, like on earth, we need to be in relationship, in proper sync with them. And in Hindu philosophy, it is also known as that whatever on this earth is which is earth, water, fire, air, and ether, which is space. So when we die, we turn into one of them. I mean, the final fragmentation turns into these many basic or fundamental units, fundamental elements, you can say. So this is how this hypothesis is, which means if we have to survive on earth peacefully or happily, we need to take consideration that we are living with our surrounding, and we need to take care of them, which also means that environmental protection, we need to protect them from degeneration, and etc, etc, etc. So these things are like this. It postulates that this single system as a whole maintains Earth's surface in a habitable state by self-regulating feedback mechanism. This talks about the self-regulating feedback mechanism. Obviously, Earth has itself a self-regulating feedback mechanism, and it also, if we try to interfere a lot into this, it gets deflected, and it finally hurts us in a big way. Like the global warming is the most prominent example. Like glaciers are receding, like somewhere there is a drought, somewhere is a huge rainfall, some sea level rising. So these things are causing a lot of damage to us, because we have changed deliberately the environment, and we have disturbed the balance that the earth tries to maintain or self-regulate itself. So this is how the Gaia hypothesis is. Then the most important topic is the monkeypox, which is making the news because the WHO has declared this monkeypox a global health emergency. First of all, what happens if something like global health emergency is declared? Declaring a global health emergency means monkeypox outbreak is an extraordinary event that could spill over into more countries and requires a coordinated global response. So the important thing here is that you need to have a coordinated global response, and it could spill into more countries, like, right? So these are very important concepts. So next is, so in UPSC what happens is that they can ask that if WHO declares some disease as a global health emergency, what happens or what does it mean? So this is how you need to remember what exactly does this mean. Then the next is, so the next is previously when did the emergency, when has the emergency been declared? Then you have following options like Ebola outbreak earlier, then in Zika virus in Latin America in 2016, Ebola in 2014, then polio, and COVID-19 obviously the recent example is. Then these are the examples when a global health emergency was declared by WHO. Then what is next comes, what is monkeypox? It is a viral zoonotic disease. Zoonotic means it has originated from animals, that's why, and it is being believed that it has originated from monkey, so that's why the name is monkeypox. So first discovered in 1958, it's a polio like pox like disease. Smallpox you must have seen. So this is that's why it is called monkeypox. Symptoms are quite same like that of the chicken pox and monkeypox. So transmission is, primary infection is through direct contact. Some time back there was a news that people in a party, like it was a gay party in Europe, in which people, I mean, they had very they in the plain terms they had sex, and that's why they got the monkeypox, got this outbreak. The outbreak thing comes from there only. So this is because if you have close contact, human to human transmission is possible because of the close contact. And transmission can also occur by inoculation, or inoculation means injection, and or via placenta means if you have an infected mother can transmit it to her baby. So these are the ways through which it can transmit it to different one human to different human beings. And vulnerability is that there is no specific treatment for or vaccine for monkeypox infection, but European Union has decided to recommend smallpox vaccine, which is Imnavax, which is very important. This Imnavax term you need to remember, because in exams there can be a question, there may be a question that what is the name of the vaccine that has been recommended by European Union for monkeypox. So this is Imnavax, right? So this way this video ends, and I hope you guys have liked this video, and let me know if there is any question, any query, any suggestion in the comment section, and do let us know about your feedback. So thanks for watching. Thanks a lot.